Over the past 10 months, I have used the Sony a6300 extensively for video, and I think this is the best budget 4K camera for filmmakers and YouTubers. There has been quite some buzz around this camera, both good and bad, but with my experience, it's mostly good. First of all, the image which it captures is stellar. It shoots in 6K and condenses it down to a 4K image. So, similar to the C100 sensor, where you start with a 4K image and downscale it to 1080, so that's gonna give you a lot of detail and it's also going to give you a little more latitude to work on. And it helps with things like noise in the image, because when you start with such a high resolution and squeeze it down to 4K, noise, grain, things like that are going to be lost, which is a good thing. Low light on this camera is also incredible. This is pretty much the best Super 35 APS-C size sensor when it comes to low light. It just destroys Canon and other cameras. All this coupled with S-Log 2 and S-Log 3 gives you amazing dynamic range. The sponsor for this video is Camera X. Camera X is a simple app which is designed to allow users store photos and videos directly to a selected folder using swipe gestures. This ensures that your photos are well organized and can be effortlessly found in the future. Lens options is a massive pro on this camera. Not only we have all the Sony lenses, which for the most part are the cheapest stabilized lenses out there, but also with the help of adapters like Sigma MC11, Metabones or some cheap M421, you can adapt almost any lens on this mirrorless camera. Another huge pro to this camera is autofocus. It's just amazing. The only thing to look for is shooting in low light. Autofocus needs light to see what's going on and it needs contrast. So it's not gonna work that well in the dark. Apart from that, it's simply great on this camera. Another pro to this camera is slow motion. We can go up to 120 fps in 1080. Quality wise, it's decent as the bitrate isn't that good, but again it's an option and it's great to have. Now let's talk about some not so pleasant stuff about this camera. First of which is overheating. And it's no surprise to me that this camera overheats. When you just look at it, it's so small, and when you consider what's going on in here, we've got a large sensor downscaling 6K to 4K and writing it to a card. It's absolutely overwhelming, but for the most part it has just worked fine for me. Another problem with this camera is battery life. So when you consider the fact that these cameras are so small, I think problem like this is ought to occur. So I recommend using some sort of external power like USB power banks, for instance. If you're just starting out filmmaking, I think the a6300 is honestly perfect. You can make your own vlogging rig with it. You can also run your entire YouTube channel just through this little camera. Not to mention the 4K video it takes in this compact form factor. It just blows away anything Canon or Nikon has to offer in this price range. If any of you have done some research online, you'll know that Sony is just killing the video game. This thing takes unreal video footage in this compact form factor. And I know Sony came up with the a6500 this year, which is their latest APS-C camera, but I think the $400 price difference is not justified. The differences between the a6300 and a6500 is mainly in-body stabilization. But in my opinion, purchasing a $400 gimbal will give you far better results. And also a lot of Sony glass has IBS inbuilt, so it's not that big of an issue. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. I know my upload schedule sucks quite a bit, but I'll be uploading quite often from now on. And also guys, please do subscribe. Till then, take it easy.